G'day everybody, welcome to the 2013 Australian Open Championship here at Royal Sydney Golf Club, one of the most storied golf clubs in Australian golf. It has seen its share of Australian Opens in the past, and a man who's played in a couple of those, former outstanding Australian amateur and professional and golf course architect now, Mike Clayton, joins me. Mike, tell us about this layout from a historical perspective. Why it is a significant layout in Australian golf?
Well, Alison Mackenzie came here in 1926, at the end of that year, where he was really commissioned to build Royal Melbourne, but he had so much influence over our golf, and this was one of the courses he came to. And I think Mackenzie was one for sort of minimising bunkers, really. On this place, I think, had 365 bunkers, one for every day of the year. So he got him to fill a pile of those in. But the most significant thing was that Mackenzie came here and had an influence on golf in Sydney as well as Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth and Brisbane. So that was arguably the most significant point in Australian golf history, really.
Well, it is interesting you mention his influence around here, because it looks, on first glimpse, if you haven't been here before, it has got some similarities to the Melbourne Sandbelt.
Yeah, it's probably the closest of the best courses in Sydney. New South Wales, the Australian, the Lakes and Royal Sydney, they all started off, well, certainly the latter three, the Australian, the Lakes and Royal Sydney, all started off looking quite similar, but they're now distinctly different courses. And this is the closest course to the Melbourne Sandbelt, really.
How's it evolved over the years, this place?
Well, they grew trees on it. Mackenzie filled bunkers in, they grew trees. Ross Watson rebuilt the greens and bunkers, I think, in about 2001 or 2. So, and it just gets older. Trees grow up and out and have their influence, but it's still essentially the same routing that Mackenzie and the guys who started the course back in the early part of the last century. It's still basically the same routing. 3
world-class players to lead just to finish up this field this week. Obviously Scott Day and McIlroy, who looks like he's getting his game back together. Do you expect this to pose a challenge for players of that calibre?
Yeah, there are hard holes here. I mean, the 15th hole is it's the straightest, narrowest hole in golf, probably. A really difficult hole right at the end, where Ogle and Allenby made a mess of it in 1994, and I think David Smart, when he had a chance to win in 2008, also made a mess of that hole. So it's a long, difficult hole at the end. 14's a tough par 3. It's windy, the greens are small, and like every championship course in Australia, it's more than just pure length. You need more sophistication than just pure soft length to test the best players in the world.